You are not going to get anywhere in life, spiritually or otherwise, until you come to that point where you don't give a damn what people think about you. As long as you worry about what other people think about you, you will be mediocre. It only matters what you believe about yourself. Believe in yourself as a successful person. Believe that you can and you will. But until you believe you can, you won't.
Peace and elevation, family. It's your boy Entrepreneur, the living survival manual, here to teach you different ways to see your greatness by investing in yourself. Let's get into the vibes.
I gave them something to believe in, you know they ain't believe it. Tried to show them the vision, they ain't zoom in to see it. Told them about these heights, they said it's too high to reach it. And that had me feeling like Mike, I told them you gotta beat it. See, it's diamonds in your soul, but you gotta dig a lot deeper. See, all of our minds been exposed, but I've been changing the frequency. Sending my prayers and affirmations, way past where them eagles be. What I learned in my returns is not all things you need to see. You gotta feel it, the negative talk, the negative thoughts, and you gotta kill it. I know that it's hard, and then they leave scars, and then ain't appealing, but you gotta heal it. There's lessons in every little layer, but you gotta peel it. Cause the best way to get some air is removing your ceiling. Look, trust me, I know cause I did it. Hit rock bottom, looked around like damn, what the fuck I do with it? I remember the levels and picked up my shovel and I started digging and digging and digging until I got dizzy. And trust me, the spirit been busy. I'm back and I'm paid and I'm busy, so feel like I'm acting the way that you get it. This is for back in the day when they just shit it. I gave them something to believe in, you know they ain't believe it. Tried to show them the vision, they ain't zoom in to see it. Told them about these heights, they said it's too high to reach it. And that had me feeling like Mike, I told them you gotta beat it.
Welcome to See Your Greatness Studios. Here, we're all about empowering you to create a standout brand. Our comprehensive services range from sleek, user-friendly web design to distinctive graphic design, and we handle all the essentials of business registration. By combining these elements, we ensure your brand isn't just visible, it's memorable. Join us to transform your vision into reality and make your mark in the business world. Let's build something great together. From vision to greatness, see it, believe it, brand it. For more information, follow the link at Linktar, e/SigStudio5 today. Remember, someone has to see your greatness. Why not start with yourself?
Yes, Zersky, peace, love, and light. It's the God, Lord Christopher, the living survival manual, and I'm back with another download straight from the cosmos. Remember, someone has to see your greatness. Why not start with yourself? Stay blessed, always finesse. Definitely trust the Most High's process. The truest keys to success. We are back. We're back. We are back, family. Finally, you feel what I'm saying? We can get some things in order, man. I apologize. You know, I had got up here and I was live earlier, but unfortunately, I was not recording. Well, I was recording more so. It was just like the video just was not picking up on the audio, so I do apologize for that. But look, we back in action, and we here, man. This is episode 63 of the See Your Greatness podcast, the 2030 agenda. As you guys see, man, we got some new things that we've been working on. I know you guys just seen the ad for See Your Greatness Studios that was created using this platform called Synthesia, and it allows you to use AI to create ads, create commercials, create PowerPoints, create proposals and things of that nature. And you can utilize these softwares to do a lot of the heavy work. You feel what I'm saying? Especially when you're trying to promote your brand, promote your business, things of that nature. We have more resources at our fingertips now more than ever. A lot of us are utilizing these phones and these devices in the incorrect manner. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we invest in thousands of dollars into this into this tech, whether it's a Mac computer, iPhone, Samsung computer, whatever we're investing in, man, like we need to start utilizing to the best of our abilities. So if you ever need more knowledge on that, you feel what I'm saying, you guys can tap in with me and we can get moving. Other than that, let me go ahead and get my shout outs out the way. Shout out everybody who has constantly been tapping into the Sea of Greatness podcast. Whether there's 1 viewer, 6 viewers, 10 viewers, or 100 viewers, all the support is much appreciated. And we're constantly going to push the mission, push the brand, so that we can, in retrospect, help all of the individuals that we are seeking to help. Those individuals who are affected by mental health struggles, individuals who are affected by community struggles, individuals who are affected by not having a collection of resources so that they can live the best way possible in the best fashion possible, pertaining to their circumstances. So Sea of Greatness Studios is all about, impacting community, being a community, and, helping the next generation grow, so that we all can have a sufficient and healthy and peaceful and strong future. So I appreciate everybody who has constantly been tapping in. Listen, man, we got some great things to talk about. The 2030 agenda is the name of episode 63, and the reason being is because I don't think a lot of us understand like what transpires in the world, especially when it comes to our lives, especially when it comes to these governments that quote unquote govern our communities, govern our cities, govern our states, and things of that nature. There are a lot of things that are put into place to, sometimes keep you in place or keep you in order, keep you in a space of being just, stagnant, being helpless, having to rely on so many, so much assistance to the point that you don't even know how to provide for yourself. And not to say that assistance isn't good, but when it becomes a issue to where the assistance is, dictated on, when we're going to give it to it, how we're going to give it to you, when you can get it, and it leads to, you not being able to be self-sufficient, or it leads to you not being able to produce for yourself and your family. That can be very strenuous on a home foundation, and I look to educate people in the best way that I can possible. I look to lead people to information in the best way that I can possible, because there was a one point in time where I wasn't so knowledgeable about things. Like I knew that I wanted to be in a better position, but I just didn't know how to do it, right? But now I'm in a season where I know how to do specific things, and I look back to teach other individuals, hey, look, man, you can make an extra $15,000 on the side of your career job, and allow that to be a starting place with you building your own business, and then branching out and, building other businesses or projects, or opening up other things besides just being, someone who's in this workforce, striving for a 401k, striving for a lot of, or some of these social security benefits that, and sooner or later, we're not going to be able to experience, right? So the reason I call this the 2030 agenda is not only to give us more ideas and help us, start thinking forward and how we can build our own community, but to also show you that if you're not going to do it for yourself, there's somebody that's doing it for you. So I wanted to present this article to you guys called the 2030 Agenda by the Department of Economic and I'm going to do entire screen. Go to window. Share. There they go. Okay. So go back here. I'll try to do this. Put that there. So here is the Department of Economic and Social social affairs website, backed by the United Nations. And for those who don't know what the United Nations is, it's pretty much an organization of different countries that come together, and they pretty much create goals, create plans, create agendas to govern the world, govern their countries, and how they collaborate together to, quote unquote, stay sustainable. But in my opinion, when it comes to, having certain freedoms, it's like they take certain things away, and they're not as open and honest about these things. So this is the article that I wanted to show you guys, which talks about the, pretty much the 17 goals that they have in order to, I guess, have a better future by 2030, because there are a lot of things that are going to end up happening if we don't, catch it now, based off of, history, based off of, how we treated the land, the earth, how we, and that's something like climate control, or how we've been able to produce and consume things, and get rid of things like waste, or build things like. So, when you don't have a solid plan, especially as a community, as a home, as a family, as a nation, as a country, what ends up happening, it leads to, a downfall. And within that downfall, of course, there are going to be other nations and countries that elevate. And not to say that we don't have our days or our times where, we aren't just at our best. We still can create things, as long as it aligns with what the Most High wants for us, that, we can be better, we can do better, we can have better. So 17 goals that they developed. We're gonna start with number one. They stated there's no poverty, right? They stated they want to end poverty in all its forms everywhere. We shouldn't have poverty. You dig what I'm saying? Like, there shouldn't be hunger in the world. There's an abundance of land, there's abundance of resources. I don't understand why, we as a nation, or as a country, or as a government, try to put this fear mongering on people, making it seem like the whole earth is depleted of resources. No, what's happening is a lot of individuals are taking resources for themselves and not giving back and sharing with the individuals that are assisting them in getting these resources, leading to, greed, leading to other families and nations being destroyed. You feel what I'm saying? Like, there's so much that's not being highlighted on your CNN, or your Fox News, things of that nature. Like, look what was going over outside of just the United States, in these other countries. You feel what I'm saying? Especially like in Congo, how these women, children, families are being stripped apart, forced to dig in the mines, forced to dig in the holes to gather minerals and resources for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even me, I think about, I have the luxury of living, how I live, and I have the nerve to complain about certain things. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I have a whole iPhone, I have a whole MacBook computer, and it's like there are families that are literally losing their lives and being castrated, or just spiritually hurting, just for me to enjoy this luxury. And I don't highlight those things. I don't express how, that does have an impact on us, if especially if you have any morals or any values, or if you align with, your higher self, rather than the lower vibrational things and entities that look to harness energy from people like vampires. That's not cool. That's not okay, because I know what it feels like to have your family unit ripped apart, and everybody split up, and people, you know, being unable to fend for themselves, or having to only fend for themselves and figure things out on their own. It's not always a a beautiful story in the moment. Though we grow and though we overcome these things, it's tough sometimes when you're in that battle, and it's real life, and we can't sit back and utilize these platforms just to have fun, just for entertainment. Like, don't get me wrong, I be in the mix, but at the same time, I understand what's real and what's truth, and things like this, having a 2030 a future agenda. If we're going to calculate time, off of that numerical value, like, we need to all start being in the space to where we're coming together and building things, because you never know what can transpire tomorrow. Like, someone told me the other day when I was out my homie's cookout, his celebration of life. He was like, look, as men, we got to provide and protect. As women, they need to nurture and support. It's okay to have specific roles. Why? Because things get done correctly, things get done properly, right? Things get done efficiently and effectively. If you're better at this, be better at that. If I'm better at that, be better at that, at this. Like, that's just how certain things have to work. I was watching this movie the other day. It's called or it's more so a TV series, and it's called The Man That Fell to Earth. And we're gonna get into, the podcast, and I gotta read the disclaimer and everything. But the man that fell to earth, and he ascended, from his own world, from his own galaxy, from his own universe into the planet Earth. And at one point in time, he is what they had called in the show a drone. He just moved and operate like when he was told to, like a pick of cotton. You feel what I'm saying? You do this, do that, go home, eat. That's it. That's life. But when he ended up coming to Earth and seeing how abundant it was, how it was parallel, or to his own world, but how adapting the thing, and that was the adapting to things was way better than just being led all the time like sheep, right? Being able to go out and experience life and create and be as the Most High told you to be, like a god. You feel what I'm saying? Out here creating and developing things, out here seeking knowledge and living in truth, and not harming, things as you don't want to be harmed. Like, that's just how it's supposed to be. So to, see these type of things happening, like, I don't think the Most High had ever wanted us to experience that, and the fact that we are experiencing it lets me know that us as a people, as a collective, whether it's good and evil, whether it's negative and positive, we're not in balance. We're not in balance. Like, we can be agreeable and disagreeable to things, but at the same time, there's ways to be able to settle it. If you're disagreeable to this, be disagreeable to it. If I'm agreeable to this, I'm going to be agreeable to it. I'm going to do what I want to do on my separate planes. It shouldn't be a forceful thing of me having to succumb to what you want me to believe in or follow or deem as truth, and vice versa. Sometimes we got to, what they say, agree to disagree. So we have all these goals. You got ending hunger, good health and well-being, quality and education, gender equality, we got clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth. Number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Like, they're working. What else? Reduce inequalities, of course. Come on. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. That's sustainable cities and communities. Like, these are goals that they're working on, on your behalf. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to do it their way. Responsible consumption and production. So they're going to, pretty much dictate on, how much you can consume and how much you can produce based off of the goals and the plans that they have. Especially if you're not, doing it for yourself. Climate action. They're going to control the weather and things of that nature how they want. Life below water. Life on land, you feel me? Peace and justice institutions, partnerships for the goals. Let's go to see all. Let's go to see all. All right. Let me see how they break it down. So it says the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable a development adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015. So this has been happening for for 10 years now. This been in the making, or 9 years, provides a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now into the future. At its heart are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which are an urgent call for action by all countries, developed and developing, in a global partnership. They recognize that ending poverty and other deprivations must go hand in hand with strategies that improve health and education, reduce inequality, and spur economic growth, all while tackling climate change and working to preserve our oceans and forests. I mean, these are good causes. These are good causes, but to what means, to what end, right? The SDGs build on decades of work by countries and the UN, United Nations, including the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs. In June 1992, at the Earth Summit, so they be having summits and agendas and conferences all the time. We be so underwear. In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, more than 178 countries adopted Agenda 21, a comprehensive plan of action to build a global partnership for sustainable development to improve human lives and protect the environment. Member states unanimous, unanimously a declaration of the Millennium Summit in September 2000 at UN headquarters in New York. The summit led to the elaboration of 8 Millennium Development Goals to reduce extreme poverty by 2015. It's a lot going on, man. They've been working on this joint for ages. Implementation progress. So they've been having different I haven't even read the progress reports. I'm gonna have to do that on my own because it looks like it's gonna be a ton of information. But I wanted to show you guys, and you can find this on the sdgs.un.org/goals. I wanted to show you guys this is because look, somebody else does. If you don't have a plan for your life, somebody else does. If you're not taking the time to build things for yourself, somebody. The best thing that we can do is start really creating different things that put us in the best position possible, individually and as a community. Do it. I actually devised a plan and I created one. You think it is. So bam, let's do it. So this is a 2030 community and building and investment plan that I feel like we can follow in order to put us in the best situations possible. Okay? Order the best situation possible. First, because gotta have it. So the vibes here at SYG Studios are to motivate, educate, and enlighten our people to achieve greatness through seeking new ways to invest in themselves. Everything is high level. What we think, what we say, how we feel, how we act. But before we get to this energy, take the time to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and put this banner up here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We love engagement over here and understand that a village pushes the trend, not just one individual. So the support is much appreciated. Also, take the time to visit the link. Join the SYG community on all social platforms. Book one-on-one consultations. Tap in with the guy to receive resources on how to build your own brand. And just be a part of a community that really looks to help one another, really looks to build and collaborate with one another so that we can all live in a fashion that we deem beautiful to us, that we deem as our own heaven, that we deem as our own promised land, right? Our aim is to not only grow the legacy, but reach at least 1 million to 5 million individuals who want, need, and are seeking the knowledge to live a more abundant life. Now, with all the information being provided, I do want to send out a quick disclaimer. On research is very, very vital. My content is intended to be used for motivational and educational purposes only. Always do your own analysis based on your own current circumstances. Now, all together, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and step into our God body energy. We're going to inhale peace, exhale so we can receive growth, and then ultimately see our greatness. So on the 3, we're going to go ahead and inhale peace. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, receive the growth. Now see your greatness, family. See your greatness. Let's go ahead and tap into the 2030 plan that I developed with the assistance of AI. You dig what I'm saying? We got to utilize these resources just like they do, right? There's reasons that they're putting billions of dollars into these different types of infrastructures. All right. So I utilized ChatGPT to create a 2030 community building and investment plan, right? And this will allow us to be able to be more sufficient, have more infrastructure, and be more sustainable in the event that these other plans that are being formed for us don't fit, our wants, our needs, and our desires. So number one, I started off or AI helped me, and it started off saying we need to have community engagement initiatives, right? We have to establish regular town hall meetings to gather community feedback, excuse me, and foster a sense of belonging, right? We got to create online forums, social media groups to facilitate discussions and idea sharing. And we also have to organize community events such as festivals, workshops, and volunteer programs to promote interaction and collaboration. Now, I highly, highly feel like that's something that should be discussed as well. When it comes to building a community, if we're not constantly meeting with one another, if we're not constantly, doing our own due diligence with gaining knowledge and bringing that back to the collective, and deciphering how these things or these resources that we've obtained over our journeys, if we're not doing that together, it's kind of hard to build a home. You feel what I'm saying? If we don't have the bricks, if you don't have the clay, if you don't have the tools to build the dream home, all you have is dirt, soil, and you just stand there looking at, something to be built without any resources. It just doesn't happen that way. You have to sow proper seeds in proper ways and proper areas and proper spaces so that it can grow into what it needs to grow into, good fruit. So community engagement, number 1. Number 2, it says that we need to have infrastructure development, and I'm so big on this, like being able to have our own schools, being able to have our own trade centers, being able to have our own grocery stores. Shoot, if we want to create our own car washes and salons and daycares and recreation centers, like we can do that. Family, it's so much potential around us, but we're not capitalizing off of what we have the best way. I am wholeheartedly the number 1 fan of using what you have and letting that develop into something amazing. So infrastructure development, we got to invest in upgrading infrastructure such as railroads, utilities, public spaces, and all this will allow us to enhance the quality of our residents, right? We got to implement sustainable practices like renewable energy sources and green building designs to reduce environmental impact. You see, they have that as one of their 17 goals, climate change. We have to take care of the planet, of the ship, of the earth that we're living on. if we're constantly putting up bad gas and fumes and chemicals inside of this dome that we're living in, it is a dome, right? It is a firmament. We read that there's an enclosure. There's no getting out of this. Right? So we have to take care of it. It's like constantly putting smoke inside your body and not expecting the smoke to deteriorate you in some way, shape, or form. You have to detox from it, right? You have to take time to step away from things that are harming you. There's no difference when it comes to climate change and making sure that we have renewable, reusable energy sources, and that we're getting these renewable energy sources in the most positive way possible, not putting someone else in danger to get these things, especially if we wouldn't do that ourselves. Now, I'm all for getting somebody to do something for you, right? But at the same time, it's like, yo, let there be some type of, again, morality there. Let there be some type of feeling there when you're telling 10-year-old kids, mothers, men, whoever it is, to go down here and need in the core of the earth, in caves and dungeons and things of that nature, to pick these minerals out. Like, come on, man, get them some right equipment to do that. Like, I enjoy the iPhone and the MacBook just like the next person, but at the same time, if it's coming with so much chaos and so much destruction, that's not the way I want to do it. No way. Develop technology hubs and innovation centers to attract talent and encourage entrepreneurship. We got to encourage innovation centers to attract talent and encourage entrepreneurship. If our next generation over the next 10 to 20 years, 30 to 40 years are not in a space to where they can critically think, actually create things. Like, there's been an analysis or a study saying that now our children in our communities are stepping down from a C grade reading level to a D grade reading level. If you can't read, you can't comprehend. If you can't comprehend, you can't think for yourself. If you can't think for yourself, you'll be controlled and how to think for someone else and do what someone else wants you to do without reaping any benefits. Is that life? I don't think so. So we need to be back in the books. Like, this was what I've been reading lately. Something different that a lot of individuals may not be into, but it teaches about science, electricity, thermodynamics, hydrodynamics, electromagnetic radiation, resonant energy. Why? Because these type of things are all around us. What do you think powers these devices, these phones, this technology? What do you think powers you in the morning? That sun is electromagnetic. You did what I'm saying? It has electricity. You carry electricity. Why you think you can rub your feet on the ground and then you touch somebody and it shocks them? Right? They put these things in movies, they put these things in cartoons, they put them in books, they put them in so many different things, but we just look at it as entertainment and we don't find any type of value to it. We don't attach any type of thought to it. We don't attach any type of emotion to it or feeling to it. So it's just out of sight, out of mind. You get desensitized to what you truly are, what you truly connect with, what you truly resonate with. And so if we're not building things that allow us to be innovative and think differently and think outside the box, think outside the galaxy, think outside the universe, what would God create? Terrence Howard has said something like, yo, move like you got a piece of God in you. Once you figure out that you and find that piece of God that you have in you, show it. Show it to the world. How do you do that? God is a creator. God is a former of things. God is a controller of things, right? And if we were made in the image of that, then that means in some capability, in some shape or form, we have the ability to control, create, and build things as well. How should you do it? Ask your question. Ask that to yourself. How should I ... How can I create this for ... That's how you be innovative. That's how you use your talents. That's how you encourage entrepreneurship and building businesses and legacies and being able to generate things for futures to come. They're doing it. 2030 agenda, y'all. These United Nations, they're creating plans. They got 17 goals for y'all. But a lot of individuals can't even get out here and create 17 goals for themselves. Come on, man. We got to get active. Education and skills development. Partner with local schools, colleges, and vocational training centers to provide relevant education and skills training. Offer workshops and seminars on topics such as financial literacy, entrepreneurship again, and technology adoption. And the reason why I feel like technology is so important now more than ever is because that's what the economy is shifting towards. That's why you got Bitcoin, digital currency. Like, they're just going to try to move these things into different spaces. And if you're not aware of it, if you don't understand it, if you don't take the time to just at least pick up a book and read about it, you'll just be at a loss of how to actually utilize the tool properly. I'm 34 years old. I'm just now learning how to use money properly. I'm just learning how to actually run a business properly. Imagine if we were taught this in school as a JIT when we were pre-K all the way up to 12, all the way up in college, or if we had actual individuals growing up who looked like us, teaching us, cared about us, and actually understood the environments that we were coming from and how we really needed to learn specific things to be in specific rooms. If those are the rooms that we're trying to play in, like, we need to understand these things. Like, I'm learning about the laws of Virginia. I've been living in Virginia for 32 years. I've been living in Virginia for 32 years, and there's so many laws just within the city and the state that we live in that I feel like a lot of people aren't abreast of. And then when we get into situations, we act like we want to move like the guys that we're supposed to be. We're unable to because we're unaware. We're not knowledgeable, family. We aren't taking the time to really read into these things. I've never in my life heard about the World Economic Forum and how these people have different types of meetings, town hall meetings, conferences on how they're going to operate the world. Even you, even the person that's looking at this video, you think that you got control over your life in some way, shape, or form, but in some way, shape, or form, somebody's controlling another part of you that you're unaware of. Do you know why you have a social security card for real? Do you know why you have a birth certificate for real? Do you know why you have a driver's license for real and why even that expires? It's all business. The United States of America Corporation, it's a business. The United Nations Organization, it's a business. So you should have to start moving like business people move to actually understand and maneuver through this game. It's Monopoly. That's why it's one of the best games out that you can learn how to play. I'm learning. I'm never going to stop learning. And I'm going to be able to teach this down to my predecessors. I'm going to be able to teach this down to my kids. Whatever they do, they're going to take it to a whole nother level. Innovation, yo. Provide and establish, where were we at? Okay, so number 3, education and skills development. We did that. Offer workshops and seminars on topics such as financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and technology adoption. Create mentorship programs connecting experienced professionals with aspiring entrepreneurs and students. Number 4, innovative investment strategies. Establish a community investment fund to support local startups, small businesses, and community projects. Like, we used to be in areas where there were thriving towns that were ran by the original people, the people that we call African Americans, the people that we call Black, right? You're not that, you know, but that's a whole nother thing, because my homie even put me on to game that when you're checking off that category, if you read what that category means and how they have it defined, you'll be amazed. But that's a whole nother podcast to dive deep into that. But we have to start supporting our own. And how do we do that? Like, for instance, I created this t-shirt, right? It's called the Elevated COD t-shirt. You can, tap into it, link in the bio. But I created this t-shirt and I'm utilizing my creativity in making things like this to promote mental health awareness, to give back to individuals that I work with that struggle with stability, they struggle with resources in the community, they're homeless, they struggle with having income, but they can't afford housing because the housing rates on apartments and rooms are too high. It's just so many things that they're redlined from, that it really takes a community to help each other, to help one another. So if I can make a t-shirt and I make a sale, and part of that proceed goes towards building a fund for them, so that when it comes time for them, say they need to get a haircut for an interview, say they need to go get their vital records and birth certificate, or get a driver's license, take a CDL training class, so that they can start their own business, just have different opportunities that a lot of these governments say that they're providing for them, but they're not. You wouldn't believe how many individuals that I've been working with for years and years and years, like they've been on wait lists for housing for more than 5-6 years. That's ridiculous. Now, when you can have the idea to knock down some land, seed the land, and create tiny homes for them, it's not that hard. You invest billions and trillions of dollars into technology and war. Why can't you do that for proper food? Why can't you do that for proper housing? Why can't you do that for proper education? You dig what I'm saying? Maybe I need to be on the community board to get some things moving, because I'm not afraid to speak up and actually tell, these politicians and these people, like, what the people really need. Like, if you're supposed to be for the people, why do people feel like you against them so much? Because you're not implementing the real plans that's going to help us be efficient, self-efficient. You feel what I'm saying? It's more so greed for y'all, right? Capitalism. All right, provide incentives for businesses to invest in research and development with a focus on sustainable and cutting edge technology. 5, collaboration with institutions and organizations. Again, so we got to have partnerships with, again, universities. We got to research these institutions and industries and associates to leverage expertise and resources. We got to collaborate with government agencies that actually want to help the people, and nonprofit organizations to access funding opportunities and regulatory support. We got to engage with neighboring communities and regional networks to share best practices and collaborate on larger scale projects. Like, I had this idea that we can create a grocery store in our community, and instead of having to, always go to a farm to do it, I have seen that there's a project, I forgot the city, I want to say it was California, where they had a grocery store, and on top of the grocery store, they were growing their own vegetables and their own fruits and their own produce on top of their grocery store. All I gotta do is go to my top roof to get some fresh cucumbers, or some fresh tomatoes, or some fresh apples or whatever on the top of my grocery store, and I put it inside of the grocery store and give that to my community. Like, that's being self-efficient. You feel what I'm saying? That's actually helping the community, or even making the community want to give back, because now that opens up job opportunities for people to, be able to cultivate those things properly in the way that we need to do, or the people to work inside the grocery store. You feel what I'm saying? That can turn into us building a plaza of holistic things. You feel what I'm saying? And us actually understanding food, and why certain foods are important and why other foods are actually harmful for us. It can go into a whole different type of thing of being actually educated on these things. It takes you putting yourself in the arena and not thinking about, the next pair of Jordans that you're going to cop, the next whip that you're going to get, even the next t-shirt that you're going to buy that's not really serving a purpose. Like, there's purpose behind this. You feel what I'm saying? Like, there's an actual cause behind this. You're not just buying this to say, oh, I bought it from See Your Greatness Studios. Nah, you know that you invested in helping individuals in the Richmond, Virginia area that are struggling with real life situations. You feel what I'm saying? There are a lot of individuals out here who don't have family no more. They come to our program that, that I work at and that I help manage. Like, they come to our program and we're their family. They literally just come there to see our face and us teach them things. We have group sessions. You know what I'm saying? We ask about how their day. We feed them lunch, breakfast. We have therapy sessions. You feel what I'm saying? We have computer, knowledge sessions, financial literacy sessions, mental health sessions. Like, we have so many different things. We give them resources like hats and shirts and socks and drawers and all these different types of things for them to get through life. This is serious stuff, right? This is serious stuff. So listen, we got to start thinking larger. Last but not least, measurement and evaluation. We got to define key performance indicators, which is called KPIs, key performance indicators, to track the progress and impact of community building efforts. We got to conduct regular assessments and surveys to gather feedback from residents and investors, stakeholders, and adjust strategies and initiatives based on data-driven insights to ensure continuous improvement. We got to keep elevating in alignment with community needs. By implementing these strategies, the community can foster a culture of innovation, collaboration, and sustainable growth, positioning ourselves and itself for success in the future. I feel like this is an amazing plan that we can start off with. You feel what I'm saying? We got 5 years. This is we can do this in 5 years. We can start developing these things in 5 years. There's only 6 goals. It's only 6, you know what I'm saying? Like six real goals or targets that we can work on. They got 17. We can work on 6. You feel what I'm saying? They got 17 different things. We can foster 6 things to build our community up, y'all. Right? But it starts with, us having these little workshops, these little community engagements. Like, get into, the podcast that I do. It's not for me to be up here to talk. Like, put your thoughts in the comments. Like, could you do this? Could you be a part of something like this? If not, this ain't for you. It's not for you. If you don't feel like this is a part of what you want to invest yourself into, but if this is something that you want to invest yourself into, you can. You can. All you got to do, let's see if I can get it up here. All you got to do is hit the link. All you got to do is hit the link. All you got to do is hit the link. You can invest. I'm building a fund. I'm doing a campaign. I got the All God t-shirt campaign that I just dropped. I got the Elevated Kai t-shirt. They actually playing right now. You feel what I'm saying? 8:30 playoff Kai. You feel me? That's that brother right there, man. I really respect him. Outside of just, him being an NBA player, bro, he really is about the people. You feel what I'm saying? He's not for the conforming to things that don't make sense, that isn't of the Most High. Right? We respect people like that. So in honor of him, you feel what I'm saying? In honor of playoff Kai, he gonna get his ring. You feel him? This is the redemption year for everything that they did to bruh, for speaking up for himself. You feel what I'm saying? For walking in his truth, for understanding that he's more than just a basketball player. That man has a great mind. He just signed his father to his own shoe line. Like, come on, like who's ever seen something like that? Like, you know how amazing it'll be? Like, yo, like, I got my own shoe. I'm about to go sign my brother. I'm about to sign my sister. I'm going to sign my dad and my mom to a shoe incentive royalty deal. Every shoe that get made, they set for life. On top of that, like, these shoes help, invest into the community that I work and play for or what. Like, man, like, these are innovative things that are happening, that are occurring. We can do it, fam. We can do it. With 2 or more are gathered, that's what God is in the midst. And as long as we stay focused, as long as we stay steadfast on it, we can do anything. I promise we can do anything. Look, man, 2030 agenda. How we moving? How we gonna keep pursuing? How we gonna keep elevating? How we gonna make an impact? How we gonna find a piece of God within ourselves and show it? Get out here and be great. Go ahead and make this transition, and man, we're going to get up out of here. Good power hour. We're going to move on to number 50, day 50 of thought-provoking questions, 100 thought-provoking questions. We're on number 50. I ask these questions to individuals, who are in high spaces, high places, And I also ask these individuals, ask this question to individuals who are seeking knowledge and actually want to, critically think, right? How do you maintain a healthy blend that allows for professional growth? How do you maintain a healthy work-life blend that allows for professional growth? For me, man, I just take the time to understand that life is life, one, but it's beautiful. It's every day that I get to wake up and breathe, like that's balance for me. But actually, the type of things that I do to be able to stay balanced, me being able to go outside and run like a little jog, a mile or two with my husky, to let stress go, or to just be in nature, like that helps me have a work-life balance. I do that by setting the little alarms like every 15 to 20 minutes. Hey, time to get up from the computer, or time to take a step back from what I'm working on, catch a breather, come back to it, because you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to overexhaust yourself in certain things to the point to where now you got to spend a whole day recharging. Nah, take small little recharge. I mean, you recharge your phone when you get on 25, 50%, 75%. Your phone, I mean, some people phone be on 98% and they feel like they got to put the charger to it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nah, every now and then, plug up, but also unplug, go outside, meditate, do things that are fun for you. Like me and wifey, we put the dominoes on the bed. We put the Uno cards on the bed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, let's get a couple rounds of Uno and go do what we need, go do what we need to do later. Go hug your significant other. Hell, a lot of individuals don't even take time to just be like, yo, let's just step out right quick and go for a walk. You know what I'm saying? My wife, she's not real nature-esque. She don't care for nature, but when she's in it and she feels safe and she feels protected, it's the most beautiful thing to her. So that's one thing I highly suggest, especially when you are individuals who like to work, right? You work hard, you work smarter, so you're using a lot of mind power, mind energy as well, a lot of spiritual energy. Anything you touch is you giving yourself to it. So you got to find ways to step back and take a step back. So that's how I maintain healthy work-life blend that allows for personal growth. And I want to know how y'all. Definitely leave a comment at the end and let me know how you maintain a healthy work-life blend that allows for personal growth. Word of wisdom before we get out of here, man. Just like I said earlier, from the guy Terrence Howard, man, find a piece of God that's inside of you and show it. See Your Greatness Studios started off because I really wanted to just see what I was capable of. And it started with me just creating t-shirts. I told wifey, I said, look, I invest in Nike, Adidas, Converse, all these different brands, but they don't really do nothing. If they do, I don't really see it. Or maybe I'm just not researching it enough to see like how they really impact the kids or individuals that work in the communities that I personally work in. I don't see them there having pop-up events. You feel what I'm saying? I don't see them there doing, small business startups or funding and things of that nature. So I'm like, yo, if that's something that I want to see, why not create it? So that's what See Your Greatness Studios is about. That's what the brand is about. That's what happens when you buy some t-shirts, when you buy a hat, when you buy some socks. We always going to use part of the proceeds to give back to the individuals that we want to see excel, even if it's ourselves. You dig what I'm saying? Even if it's ourselves and our family, we got to realize that we can't help ourselves and our families without helping other people, without doing God's work. We got to do the Most High's work. We can't make a dime in this world without serving somebody, utilizing your skills and your talents and your powers to be able to affect somebody else. It just doesn't work. Every transaction comes from a peer-to-peer or a business-to-business. You feel what I'm saying? If we could just wake up one day and just hit a button and be like, all right, I got 100,000 without having to help anybody, that day not here right now. It might be for some people, but that's the, you know, they into some other stuff that I don't really think I want to know about. But yeah, man, we got to get out here and impact each other. So find the peace of God that's inside of you and show it. Just show it, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'm about to go catch this game. Remember, someone got to see your greatness. Why not start with yourself? Stay blessed. Always finesse. Definitely trust the Most High's process. We got the campaign going. T-shirts are up right now. Follow the link. All God campaign, elevated campaign. Partial proceeds going to help individuals affected by mental health. Shout out to June Mental Health Awareness Month for the men. You feel what I'm saying? It's also Juneteenth coming soon. You feel what I'm saying? Let's not forget that. So power to my brothers out here who struggle to open up about how you feel or what you're going through, and not having a support system. Us over here at See Your Greatness Studio support you, brother. We love you. I love you. You dig? You are a king. You are almighty. You are powerful. You do have the ability any and everything that you want for yourself, as long as you put your best foot forward, your best spirit forward, your best mind forward. Continue to be the best that you can be in the best way that you know how. Utilize the resources that you got around you. Understand that not every person, not every man, not every woman is out here to hurt you and destroy you. Some actually want to see you build, create, and be that true masculine energy that you're supposed to be. Be that provider, be that protector, be that creator, be that generator, that operator. And if you got to destroy a couple things that's hurting you and your family, do what you got to do, fella. But we love you over here. See Your Greatness Studios, and we all tied in. We out, man. Y'all continue to be great. Everybody that tapped in tonight, I appreciate y'all, man. And we're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep this thing flowing. Till next time, we out. That was a real good podcast. Real good podcast. Yeah, Zersky.